You know, when this week started, I knew I'd be making several videos, mostly due to Comic-Con stuff like Star Wars and Batman v Superman. Never this week did I think that the entire metagame of Yu-Gi-Oh! Would be killed off in 10 seconds. But I'll explain why I think that in a few minutes. First up, let's talk about the news. If you've been living under a rock or have just been smart enough to get away from the insanity that is popular Yu-Gi-Oh!, then you have heard that ARG, Ultra Reality Games, has come out with their own ban list. For those of you who don't know, ARGs are big high-profile tournaments where you win cash prizes and a lot of other stuff. And for a lot of people are controversial on ARGs because they think, you know, they kind of go by their own rules, they maybe go a bit too far, and they're trying to, like, maybe take these games in a direction people really aren't comfortable with them going, with a lot more emphasis being put on the high competitive market with highly competitive prizes. Now, I actually have never been to an ARG, so I can't personally atone from this, but from what I know from my friends, yes, they get a lot of hype, but it is a lot of fun actually knowing you're competing for something for more than just a fucking lanyard. Thank you, Konami. And ARG has decided to take this one step further and basically decided, screw the rules, we got money! To give to you, of course. And they have come out with their own ban list of cards they should come out, basically telling Konami, hey, you guys won't come out with a ban list and we need these things to be entertaining, so here we go. Now, I obviously have my own personal thoughts on why they're doing this and what it means for the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! But for now, let's just start off with the things that are banned and limited and all that good stuff. And also, fair warning, this doesn't mean that cards that are normally banned and forbidden are not. Basically, anything that isn't mentioned here is still in its previous listing, so no triple pot of greeds. But basically, what they've banned are Jin, Releaser of Rituals. No shock there, because anyone who's gotten that Jin lock, you know you're not going to draw your Raigeki or Book of Moon in time. And with the way Nekroz can just fucking swarm, you know you're screwed. Fusion Gate! I have no idea why. I guess Fusion Gate opens up some jank plays, but even once Nodin comes out, I can't see it getting much play. Lavavel Chain! Yes, that thing, when a deck can really use it, they go off. Especially Nekroz, Shaddolls can really use it. I'm glad to see that thing go. Nekroz of Trishula. I'm going to be that odd man out. I don't think you needed to ban this, but I think you should have put Cycle at 1. Simply because, you know, people only play one Trishula because they can just cycle it back later and keep banishing. I would have put Trishula at 1, which is at anyways, as well as Cycle, just to slow that down. Royal Magical Library. Ignites are a thing. This card opens many jank combos. It's a good idea, even if it doesn't really come into play for another month or so. VANITY'S Emptiness. Finally. No reason to get in it there. Restricted to 1. This is where I think things get really juicy. I'm actually not a huge fan of banning cards, although I do know why you have to. But I do think it is more fun when they go to 1 and you've really got to be afraid if your opponent's going to draw it. Sir, Male Branch of Burning Abyss, as well as Dante have been put at 1. Why? Oh, wait, was Dante at 0? Dante's at 2, sorry, never mind. Sir is at 1. Good. Burning Abyss are way too broken. I think they are a bullshit deck that should never have been made. I am so glad to see one of their most broken cards go down. Both El-Shaddoll Construct and El-Shaddoll Fusion. Good, because anyone who's had to deal with El-Shaddoll Fusion, ironically in that combo, they literally have times where they just El-Shaddoll Fusion into Construct, then another El-Shaddoll Fusion in Construct, and another El-Shaddoll Fusion Construct, all in battle phase, all just going broken. Here's where things get interesting though. Bubbleman is at 1, so is Stratos. We finally have a tournament where we can use Stratos in, thank fucking God. I've been wanting Stratos back for years. Like everyone else, I have no clue why he got banned. Yes, you can make your claim, Destiny Hero combos and the Hero Structure deck. Stratos wouldn't make a difference. Give us the card back. He's a fan favorite. He's fun to use. Putting Bubbleman at 1 I don't think is uber necessary because heroes aren't top tier, nor do I think Stratos will put them there. But I love heroes, and I do know the broken Bubbleman combos. And for a long time in the OCG, Stratos and Bubbleman were both at 1. So I can understand putting them both there just to experiment it. I mean, the good thing is ARG admitted that this is a work in progress and they're tooling around with things. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work and they'll change it, and I trust them on this. Instant Fusion is at 1. Obviously with Nodin, that's a big deal. Mistake is at 1. Yes, because cards, you can make the argument every deck requires adding in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! True, but the problem is many decks also have the ability that once they get out their heavy beater like Construct or Trishula, they don't need to do anything else. So they'll flip the Mistake and just shut you down. Nekroz of Unicorn. Also, yes, that thing is fucking annoying. You finally are able to get rid of it, and then it just screws you from the graveyard. Wind-up Carriers and Mighty. Yeah, just no real reason why it needs to be banned. Wind-ups aren't going to do anything. Maybe the new support they're getting will help, but yeah. Restricted to 2. Dante. I would have put it at 1 just because it is super annoying. But again, it can be a situational card, and once you can shut it down, it's usually easy to kill. So putting it at 2 is understandable. Also, you know, I think you do put that card at 1. You are in danger of just killing off the whole deck, so 2 is fine. Dragon Ravine. Yeah, we don't have the E-Dragons. Dragonities are barely a thing, so giving them Ravine will help them. Although we'll see how that affects things when Red Eyes comes out next month. INZEKTOR Hornet. That's a fun one. I hated INZEKTORs when they first came out. But yeah, definitely giving decks their big strategy back will put more diversity into the game, and it helps out, you know, just giving things fun. I don't know, a lot of people who really loved INZEKTORs. They thought they were cool and an interesting playstyle. So seeing that come back is definitely a welcomed return. Rescue Rabbit at 2. Easy. At 1, no one wants to play it. At 3, it's too broken. 2 is perfect. Opening up with it might bring in some like Evil Swarm plays, maybe even a little Dino Rabbit, but I doubt it's going to make too much. Summoner's Art. Yes, if it were up to me and I did this list, I'd put all the adding cards at 2. Summoner's Art, the problem is that Klees, even though they lost skill drain to a certain extent, are still a very powerful deck. I would have put Lose a Turn at 1 as well. And when you have 3 Summoner Arts, at least I think Summoner Arts at 3, and you have the 2 Scouts, it really doesn't matter because you're getting that Scout out. There's no real way to stop it except for like Mind Crush. But the thing is that they'll still get it, they'll still get those ads out, and they'll still just swarm with huge numbers. Getting rid of Summoner's Art is very nice. Or putting it down to 2, it just helps even the decks out. Torrential Tribute at 2. Fine, I don't know why Konami didn't do it, it's fine at 2. Hell, it'd probably be fine at 3. I don't think it would make that big a difference right now. And Wind-Up Magician, because hey, since we're trying to bring decks back, why not bring back Wind-Up Magician? And here's the real fun part. Things that are just no longer limited, which means things that, as far as ARG are concerned, are so irrelevant, no one even cares. Chaos Sorcerer, because that card can be easily stopped even if it is very annoying. Dark Hole, because no one plays it. Glow Up Bowl, because you can only use it once per duel anyways. And Sacred Sword of the 7 Stars, because once again, E-Dragons are dead. So that's the list, and as I said, I explained the logic and reasoning for both, and it's a very fair, logical list. Would I have added or maybe changed a couple things up? But yeah, this is great. I think this is amazing ARG is doing this. We're going to need this in Yu-Gi-Oh! Here's the thing. We need more formats. Why has Magic survived so long? Because it has that. It has that ability to, if you don't like doing Standard, you can do EDH. You can do, Modern. You can do all these different ways to play Magic. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is at the point where it needs that. There are so many different cards and so many different playstyles, and so many cards people want to use but can't because they're not competitive. You're going to need to break things up. And ARG is taking that first step, implementing a tournament system that works fine for them and their people that they're catering to. Another thing is, I don't know if you know this, ARG streams a lot of their tournaments online anyways, to which case it almost turns Yu-Gi-Oh! Into a spectator sport, kind of like in the anime. And if you want Yu-Gi-Oh! To get that high profile notoriety, and more important, if you want Yu-Gi-Oh! To last, you need to make it entertaining. And when someone can just go Jin, or just make 1,000 plays a turn that you can't really do anything about, that needs to stop, or it needs to be better regulated. By toning some decks like Shaddolls and Nekroz down, and giving others like INZEKTORs and Wind-Ups more freedom to be usable, it really helps. And it helps give the format more variety, and it helps make the tournaments more entertaining, and it helps the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! As a whole. Which brings me to the most controversial part of what I'm about to say. Konami needs to take a hint. Look, if you are okay with the way Konami does things, good for you. I am not. I think Konami is a head up their ass, ego-driven, money-grubbing group of assholes who have no clue what they are doing, and it doesn't make any sense. Here's the thing. They constantly claim that their tournaments are for children, that this game is for children, and to an extent, yes. But children aren't the one playing. Children aren't the ones spending hundreds of dollars on a deck, going hundreds of miles to these tournaments and competing. It's us, adults, and you need to cater to that. There needs to be more of a separation between kids and adults, having one set of Yu-Gi-Oh! Rules for older kids, and then doing something to help younger fans get involved. Help, they won't even put the show on a channel that has easy access to, which tells me that they really aren't trying. And I'm hoping that they'll take a hint from this ARG thing and start trying. If we want Yu-Gi-Oh! To be like the show and last another 40 years, we need it to do things like this. It needs to evolve and cater to its audience. We need more prizes than just lanyards and I think an iPad. If you enter a tournament, there needs to be some sense that you as an adult can get somewhere with this game. I'm not saying everyone should be a professional Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, but there needs to be that option for an adult to be like, why should I still do this? Yes, it's fun, but I need stuff in life, and this can help me, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Should be doing that. I am hoping ARG sort of is the Marvel to Konami's Sony, where because one was created, it forced the other to have to try and step up their game, and hopefully will cause one to eventually bleed in and help the other out. My problem is how many fuck-ups do we need in the meantime? How many Amazing Spider-Man 2s have to happen? How much reputations have to get lost? And how much does the game have to hurt before Konami's willing to get off their asses and actually do something, which they now can, because literally ARG is opening the door for them to fix their problems. Get to it, Konami, and do it! But not everyone shares this sentiment. If you think that the game is fine, if you are against these ARG rules, as some people are, tell me in the comment section below. Give me your thoughts on anything you want, but remember, everything I've just said was opinion. So keep that in mind before you get too angry. And as always, click to like and click to subscribe, because let's see where this goes.